Blue Underground brings to Blu-ray and 4K UHD the Enzo G. Castellari Franco Nero Italian crime classic High Crime from 1973. Wow, is this an amazing package. It's got, as I said, Franco Nero, Fernando, James Whitmore, American actor James Whitmore, and an amazing kick-ass score by Guido and Maurizio De Angelis. The audio on this, I'll tell you the story in a second. Not the whole story, though. The audio is English 1.0 DTS MA, Italian 1.0 DTS MA, subtitles in English SDH, French, Spanish, and English for Italian audio. The basic story here goes a little something like The French Connection. So this is clearly inspired. They even say it in the extras. This is inspired by The French Connection. Franco Nero is a cop. There is drug smuggling. Heroin is being smuggled from Marseille to Genoa in Italy, and he's trying to bust that up. He finds a bad guy. I'm not going to tell you the whole story. He finds a bad guy involved, and they're going to take him in after a really crazy police chase. They get to the police station. They go to take him in. Nero steps out of the car explodes. And yes, they're clearly using dummies, but the way they use the dummies, as you see them flinging out of the car when it explodes, it looks really gruesome. And this movie uses dummies throughout for people getting, a lot of people get hit by cars in this film. And it's cut in just a way, and the dummies are just right that it looks real enough for you to go, oh my God. So the story becomes Nero trying to find out who did it and bring them to justice and bust up this heroin ring. Interestingly, Fernando is in this film playing a character similar to what he played, or vaguely similar to what he played in The French Connection. So, you've got that connection. And there's actually a wonderful extra on this that I'll get to a little later called The Connection that talks about all the connections between The French Connection and all these Italian crime films of their day. So Nero is trying to hunt down Mr. Big. His daughter is involved. His daughter has come back from studying abroad, so he's trying to look after her and protect her while all this stuff is going on. He's being targeted, and other people are being targeted. Whitmore plays his boss. I'm this close to throwing you off the force. He's not that kind of a boss, but gruff but lovable boss, and dubs himself in the English language dub, as does Franco Nero, which is cool. The whole film was filmed in English. At the time in Italy, they did not shoot audio on set, so any version of an Italian film from this era, more or less, you're going to see dubbed. So sometimes you kind of want to go with the Italian language to be truer of how the film was released there, but everybody's lips match the English version. So it's less of a betrayal, I think, if you're watching the English dub on this, because everybody was talking English on the set. So it's a little talkier than I probably would have preferred. I kept having the follow-up to this that Castellari and Nero did, Street Law, in my brain, which is just a crazy, dark, slam-bang, grim action film. This is crazy, dark, and grim and slam-bang at times, but there's a lot of stretches of dialogue and plotting and trying to figure out who's who and what's what. And that's fine, but the car chases and the shootouts and the explosive, brutal violence is there. So if you're looking for that in one of those Poliziotechki films that I love, these Italian crime films, Euro crime films, that's all there. It's just a little bit more downtime between those moments than some of these other films have. The score by Guido and Maurizio De Angelis is fabulous. It sort of feels like a precursor to Goblin's work on Profondo Rosso that would come out a couple of years after this. Very memorable. That is also looping in my brain because it's on the menus, and I've been working my way through all the extras, which are voluminous on this set. The 4K disc looks phenomenal. It looks really good. The transfer looks beautiful, super sharp. The grain is there that should be there. Really well done. The Blu-ray looks great too. So like if you buy this set, you get the Blu-ray and you get the 4K in this set. So if you don't have a 4K player, this is still worth getting, and you just play your Blu-ray. And if you ever do get a 4K player, 4K TV, you've got that there. If you don't, all the extras are on the Blu-ray disc. So the 4K disc is the movie, and it's the commentaries, and it's the alternate ending and the trailer. Those are all on the Blu-ray, plus a whole lot more, which is how Blue Underground tends to do it. If they're going to give you a 2-disc set, they devote the most disc space, the highest bit rate they can to the 4K disc, so the movie looks as good as it can. It's not being compressed to fit the extras on. And then on the Blu-ray, they can have more room to play. So this movie also, by the way, Franco, I see my notes over here that you can't see. Franco Nero has fantastic hair in this film. flapping in the breeze when he runs at full speed. He's just crazed in this film. Lurching, shooting, slapping his way through suspects and informants to get his way to the top of the pagoda, as I like to say. And it's just, he's great. Franco Nero is always great, but he's like super intense and really, really good in this film as the commissioner. And this film is like Gone with the Wind in that not a lot of characters that we see make it to the end of this film. This film has got a body count in it, and it's not just the bad guys. The 4K disc, the extras are the commentary by co-writer and director Enzo G. Castellari from 2004, commentary by Franco Nero and Mike Malloy of the Eurocrime documentary. Mike Malloy is great. Commentary by film historians Troy Howarth and Nathaniel Thompson and Eugenio Ercolani. So 3 commentaries on this film. The alternate ending that's 3 minutes, and I'll talk slightly about this. The film that we have on these discs has a weird ending. That's the ending, I believe, that was in theaters. And it goes up to a point where you think, oh, that's the end. And then it does a weird editing thing, and then it continues and credits roll. But the credits rolling, they roll over footage that feels like it was an alternate angle for something that should have happened earlier. It feels like they had an ending and then they rethought it and they put that ending on there. The alternate ending is the ending that I think as you watch it, the ending you think you're going to get. So let's just say that with no spoilers. The trailer is 4 minutes. This looks like an issue where they had an original trailer that didn't look all that great. They replaced any shots they could with footage from this new transfer, so it does look great. So you only see the original trailer footage when you're cutting to text or weird graphics or imaging that isn't taken directly from the movie. That's fine. It's interesting that Italian trailers are very interesting from this period, very stylish from this period from the 70s. As we go on to the Blu-ray, the extras are the same commentaries, the same alternate ending, the same trailer, and then we get the featurettes, of which there are many, and they seem to be mostly new or newly put together. We get the Genoa Connection interviews with director Enzo G. Castellari and star Franco Nero. That's 25 minutes. The interviews clearly were done quite a while ago. But they're newly put together. From Dust to Asphalt interview with Castellari. That's 28 minutes. That's clearly done now. When you watch one to the other, you see the man age by a decade or two. Hard Stunts for High Crimes interview with actor stuntman Massimo Vanni. That's 19 minutes. Framing Crime interview with camera operator Roberto Girometti. That's 20 minutes. The Sound of Onions, which is a title I'm like, what does this mean? By the end of it, you understand what it means. Interview with composers Guido and Maurizio De Angelis. That's 23 minutes, and it's fabulous. These two super nice guys talking about their entire career, how they went about doing scores for films, some very funny anecdotes, how they did so much work over a period of time. They had to come up with all these aliases so that people like wouldn't go be down on them thinking, oh, it's just these guys doing everything, these guys again. So Oliver Onions was the name of a group they concocted, and all these other names and bands and things. It was really just these two guys for the most part. Really, really good extra. I loved it. The Connection is also great. This is the featurette I mentioned earlier by Eurocrime director Mike Malloy, where he talks about the French Connection and how it impacted Italian crime films, and how there's a great sequence toward the end where he just talks about all these retitling where something becomes the Marseille Connection, the Italian Connection, the Sicilian Connection, the blah, blah, blah. And it's very fun and funny, as his featurettes always are. That's 13 minutes. Then we have that's alternate ending that I talked about earlier. We have a still gallery of 44 images. And then there's more. Let me show you the packaging. Blue Underground does such a fabulous job. They don't put out a ton of stuff, and a lot of what Bill Lustig has been doing is just re-releasing things he already had the rights to that he put out on DVD or Blu-ray, but in these amazing, even better 4K packages. So you get this really cool package, which is out of focus, unfortunately. So trust me, really cool package, and I guess I can't show you because it's out of focus. It's a 2-disc set. Trust me that would be a 2. There we go. That's a 2-disc set. 4K Blu-ray insert. We remove the insert. Sorry about this. I have it on the wrong setting. We remove the insert. We get the CD soundtrack by the De Angelis brothers, which is fabulous. And we have a reversible sleeve. So you've got the Blu-ray, you've got the DVD, you've got the CD soundtrack, which is just great. And then you get, so you have this cover, which is the newly commissioned art. I hope that's in focus. And then you get a reversible sleeve that is the original Italian poster art. I love it when they do that. So this is a movie that I didn't love the movie. I honestly like Street Law a lot more, but this is a good film. This is an important film in the history of Italian crime cinema, and the extras and the presentation is fabulous. So if you like Eurocrime, like I like Eurocrime, totally worth picking up. thanks to Blue Underground on 4K UHD and Blu-ray, we now have 1973's High Crime.